Hi there, welcome back. I'm hoping that I can finish these videos today. I may have one or two or three perhaps more to do. We'll see how it goes. I've got some things just to say, and I'm not they're not in any particular order, I don't think. I want to I had yesterday, when my last video was actually redoing the first video that I made in this series, and I just wanted to shorten it up a bit. Maybe not that it really matters considering how many videos I've got, but I did want to shorten it up, make it easier to get through. I had mentioned in that video that I mentioned my morning routine, and the reason I mentioned that was only to indicate how poor my health is. When I do my morning routine, which just consists of getting up, getting into the restroom, brushing my teeth and washing up a bit. By the time I'm finished that, I'm exhausted, and I pretty much just have to lie down after that, and I'll recover some energy, and I can maybe get out of the truck a bit, but then I've got to lie down again. I have barely any energy I don't really communicate with people out here. There are a couple folks that I have befriended, and we actually keep our vehicles pretty close to each other, and we help each other out. I have no energy to do even socializing. I pretty much stay to myself and stay inside my truck all day. I've got an editing tool. I haven't used that yet. I checked it out a little bit, but I haven't actually used it. I'll try to maybe, if it's not too time consuming, maybe do some edits, but I've already spent 2 months making these videos, and I can't really spend much more time. In addition to that, I've got to get these videos uploaded to YouTube and Rumble, and I don't know how much time that's going to take, and it's going to require a Wi-Fi signal, and that might be logistically an issue. It might be difficult. So in mentioning my morning routine, in order to give an idea of how my energy levels, there might be people thinking that I'm just lazy and I don't want to work. That's not the case. I've worked very hard my whole life, and I'm just in really, really bad health. And even my mother, when I was working for myself for quite a few years, toward the end there, when I started working for the hardwood supplier, because my health was so poor, and I was trying to, I just wanted to be able to punch in and punch out, because working for myself was, it was very time consuming. It wasn't just going to do the work wherever that work was. I'd bring that work home. I would think about it at night. I'd make my plans for the next day. I'd draw out, designs of something that I'm going to build or work on. There was a lot of, and I didn't give my, I generally, if I even ate while I was working, I would eat while I'm working generally. I'd probably have a sandwich in my hand while I'm, looking at the project that I'm, that I've been working on, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next on it. It's a lot of work. And I mentioned my mother because when I started working at the hardwood place, she had said something like, "Well, now you'll actually have to work." And I asked what she meant by that. She said, "Well, you've been working for yourself. You can, goof off and just do whatever you want to." And I tried to give her an idea of what it's like. I don't think she has any idea how much actual work I put in working for myself. It was I did that because I want to be my own boss. I don't like being told what to do by people. Not that I can't take direction. It's just that generally, in my experience, the people who have given direction have been poor communicators. They've been bad at doing it, and unreasonable. And there have been exceptions. I have had, for instance, at the hardwoods supplier, those were fantastic people to work with. I got it was, that was, but I wanted my own freedom to work for myself, and it allowed me to really exercise my the skills that I wanted to develop. I taught everything aside from going to school for wooden boat building. That was a 1-year program, and it was a really comprehensive program. So over the course of that year, there was a lot of information to go over. So actual woodworking techniques was a very small amount of the curriculum. So when I got out of there, I had a whole lot to learn. And I had mentioned that in working for the boatyard, they were completely unwilling to give me any woodworking. And I was really relegated to menial tasks, unsafe tasks, very toxic. The stuff that nobody else would want to do. I had to teach myself everything I know about woodworking and carpentry, and I have a lot to learn. But I've taught myself, and I know, and what I do, I'm good at. I like to. I'm precise, and that's important when you're woodworking. I've done that because it's an important. I think that knowing how to build things, and understanding how things work, how the world works, how the physical properties of this world works is extremely important for everyone. I won't go too deep into this, but I always wanted to work with my hands. I think it's very important. Not only can I make a living doing that, I can save a lot of money. Could have, as a homeowner, which is what I fully expected to be, relying on myself. I could have done it all. And that's important for societally as well. The more people who are capable of doing things themselves and being self-sufficient, it means that they won't have to rely on others if things go badly, and it means that your odds of surviving are greatly increased, and you are much less likely to be a burden on someone else in your community. It's very important, and I think that the trades are often there's a perception of them of being low class, and they don't garner as much respect in terms of their importance in society as they should. I'm skipping around here. I've got some notes. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I'm going to forget a lot of things, but at least what I have jotted down here. I had mentioned in one of my videos about hating everybody out here. I don't want to be out here, and this place. It's a big parking lot, and there are two huge stores here, and I don't like corporate consumerism. I don't like unnecessarily buying products cheap products that break, that are made to break, that are made overseas by exploited labor. And I am surrounded by that here. I am surrounded by excessive consumerism. And of course we need to buy things. I understand that. But I see the elements of society that I really don't like. I am forced to witness it on a daily basis. And the people that a lot of the people, not everyone, of course, but there's so much bad behavior. There is so much bad littering, just arguing and yelling in public, just very bad behavior. And these are, I'm not talking about homeless people. I'm talking about the customers here. I see bad behavior by far too many people, by far too large a portion of the public, and it's and I'm stuck in it. I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life, and those sacrifices have been with one objective in mind, and that is investing in my future. I have spent very little money in terms of anything but putting back into my business and the necessities. Very little in terms of creature comforts. I've never been on a vacation. I have never once been on an actual vacation. I've just made a lot of sacrifices, and I've never gambled. I've purchased like 2 lottery tickets in my life, and I have I've bet on myself and my abilities and my skills, because I knew that I could rely on those to build the future that I wanted. And that future was not anything grandiose. It was a completely reasonable and achievable goal. And I'll just tell you very basically what that was. I wanted to own some land. I wanted to build a home on that land. Live off the land as much as possible. I don't have any unreasonable expectations of being able to completely be fully sustainable on that land, but do what I can to, grow what I'm able to, and rely on the outside world as little as I can. I wanted to either build or buy a sawmill and harvest lumber from my land. I really wanted to get down to that amount of living off of the land, and these are goals that wouldn't have required a whole lot of money. And being as frugal as I've been, and I kept that money saved up for a long time. That money to put in a down payment on property, until I got sick and I needed to dip into that. When I was laid off, actually, during COVID, I had to heavily dip into that. The unemployment didn't pay for a very long time. I didn't get any stimulus money from the government because of my inability to do my taxes. But I always kept that money aside, because as soon as I was able to get my taxes done, I was going to jump on some land and start my life and get out of that rent prison. I call it a rent prison because I was trapped there, and I was throwing away money to people who didn't appreciate me, who by and large mistreated me, stole from me. It was just a bad situation altogether. And the other costs of renting are just enormous. Utilities costs are far higher when you're renting than owning. If you're mindful of expenses when you're owning, renting, at least the places that I've rented, they've been extremely expensive in the wintertime. I don't even know if they had insulation. The costs for, my goodness, parking tickets constantly. It didn't matter if how diligent you are about parking your car properly. You're gonna get a ticket eventually. You're gonna make a mistake, because there are a lot of ways to make mistakes. Even if you don't make a mistake, they're going to eventually, from time to time, ticket your vehicle even when you're properly parked. Really, the list is to theft. Every single place that I've lived, that was 3 locations in Portland for 15 or 16 years. Each place, my vehicles were broken into multiple times. And that's expensive, depending on what they steal. And I did have some expensive things stolen. There are just a lot of expenses that I think that people who own homes don't realize that renters are faced with, and it is far less expensive to be a homeowner, especially if you are self-sufficient and you can build, fix, maintain your home for the most part yourself. It's far less expensive being a homeowner than it is renting, and in my opinion, it is so much more satisfying. I haven't been a homeowner, but I've imagined it, and I know it would be more satisfying. I have spent endless hours just dreaming about, fantasizing about fixing up my own home. It was a dream of mine. The satisfaction I would have been given, I would have received from working on my own home. That felt like would be a real gift. Yeah, these aren't unreasonable goals, and I'm going to stop this video here, regroup, make a video here in a couple minutes, and I hope to make 1 or 2 more, and that's it. I'll see you then.